What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Zeal Cigar review, and we're doing something a little bit different because I got some room in the back, and I've started wanting to do a couple of these episodes where kind of sit down with some people, have some conversations, smoke some good cigars, and today's guest is kind of special to me because Brandon is a young man that's been around the shop for 6 years, has come in and consulted in Brad's advice and leadership and mentorship, just like a lot of us other people that have come through this shop and watched the YouTube channel have done over the years. And as a musician, him and his bandmates here just put out an album called Twisted Trails.
Trailhead.
What?
It's called Trailhead. We are Twisted Trails.
You son of a bitch. The album is called Trailhead, but the band is called Twisted Trails. Apparently, you got to do more research before you have people on for an interview, and you look like an idiot. But anyways, so we're gonna hang out with these guys, smoke some good cigars, and find out about their new album. All next on the Zeal Cigar Review. So I'm gonna kind of get this lit up and start smoking this. I'm smoking a Zeal Dying Breed. You guys don't really have to go over what you're smoking if you don't want to. Although you are smoking a Trailblazer.
I am smoking a Trailblazer,
Which makes sense.
I don't know anything about cigars, but I walked in, and we were like, we saw the Whiskey and Sunsets.
Oh, and I don't have them right now. Dang it! They're on the way. They'll be here.
And you didn't hear it, but I was in the room screaming. I was like, Brandon, tell them to make a batch right now. So I was looking around the room, and then I saw a Trailblazer, and I'm like, dude, I'm a businessman, you know what I mean? We gotta maintain this brand.
It's kind of funny. I would have two cigars because you have one song named "Whiskey Before Noon," and the other one is "Sunsets and Cigarettes." So I have a cigar that kind of encompasses both of those, and then the Trailblazer on top of that. So I don't know you guys a whole lot. I just know one guy as the guitar player, and then I know the other guy as being Australian.
All you need to know.
That's all I got, bro.
That's all you Tristan, that is your intro.
And he does coffee. Like, that's what I know right now. So go ahead and tell everybody who you are, what you do with the band, how you met Brandon, and then we'll just continue around here.
So I'm Cooper. I'm the guitar player, and I met Brandon. What was it like?
Year and a half.
Year and a half, 2 years ago?
Yeah, year and a half.
And did you have Twisted Trails at the time?
We had a version of Twisted Trails.
Right. So you guys were
bands, dude.
You guys were just doing what? Just like the Whiskey Rose and
just doing the gigs, like the covers.
Just the covers gigs.
Yeah.
We hadn't really started writing yet.
We were recording.
Yeah.
We weren't writing yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We already had some songs that were ready to go.
Yeah.
And I was playing with another artist, and then Brandon came up on stage, and the first song that I played with you was Cold. And I was like, yeah, this guy's cool. And I didn't think anything of it.
Got some old school vibes.
Yeah. And then, so fast forward about like maybe 6 months later, me and Tristan did a gig in Mexico.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is cool, Australian drummer, and we had a good time. It was fun.
Yeah.
And so then fast forward like a month or two from that, and he calls me to fill in with Twisted Trails, and I had found out, and so we were doing a cover gig, and then I found out that they were writing, and I'm like, well, this is sick because I've been wanting to write.
Okay.
And so then, it was like, yeah, we meet every Wednesday, and I was like, that's cool. And so I came in, like, most of the songs were already kind of written. I just had to sprinkle whatever I do on it.
A little bit of your twist on it.
Yeah.
Twist.
Some leads.
See, this guy gets it. This guy gets it. And so, and then that became the EP.
Okay. That's sick, bro. Mm-hmm. How long have you been playing music?
I've been playing guitar since I was 8, so I'm 21, so 13.
Okay.
13 years.
I'm musically challenged, bro.
Me too.
I don't even
Swinging it.
But yeah, I don't. I give props to those who are good at what they do. That's for sure. I can play the harmonica a little bit.
Hell yeah.
That's probably about it. It's not special, but I can make it work.
Yeah, man.
We'll put it that way.
We have harmonica on our EP.
Yeah, I heard that. It was great. Who plays it?
My father-in-law.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
What, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a musician up in Illinois, and yeah, we jam all the time.
Ah, the motherland.
Yeah.
Yes, the hillbillies of the Midwest, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, West Virginia. My kinfolk. We know these people.
Where are you from?
Ohio.
Oh.
Yeah, like Southern Ohio. Is he from Michigan?
No, I'm from Texas.
Oh, Texas. Okay, we're okay with that.
Oh,
If he said Michigan, we got to kick him out. He's no longer a part of the band. I don't know how I have any play in this, but
Michigan.
so how did you meet Brandon?
We were. I had another band going about 3-4 years ago, and we needed a new singer because our singer moved up to New York, and so the guitarist I was playing with at the time found out about this guy through someone at his church or something. I think it was.
It was Mike of the Cruz Brothers.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So
Yeah, yeah, there you go. And so yeah, hooked us up for some gigs, and yeah, he blew me away, man. Just fucking. So then I was like, let's start writing some stuff.
He was like, "Hey, how does the drummer with the thunder from down under get on your shit?"
Well, actually, because I got a studio, so I was like, come over and record some stuff, and
Oh, okay.
That's all started. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you do any of the production work as well?
yeah.
Okay.
He does
He
it
did
all.
all
He
the
does all the
production
production work?
All of the production.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, dude! So I got a little bit of a glimpse into that in college because my college roommate went to school for I forget what it's actually called, but it's generally media production.
Yeah, cool.
Is
Yeah.
the easiest way to say it.
Yep.
He works for a news station, makes all the.
I did the
commercials.
same. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So but he used to make beats all day.
Yeah.
Like that's our door stayed open, and
Yeah.
all you saw was just us in there like this, and him just on a machine or on
Yeah.
the keyboard, just like you walked by the room, we were doing this,
Yeah.
guarantee it.
That's awesome. I love it.
So I got a little bit of a view into that, man. That's tough work, man. You gotta have a vision and ear. It's like
Yeah.
I like to tell people this. I'm not a 30-minute stand-up comic.
Yep.
I'm an improv comic.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
like I could stand next to you and be like, "Yo,
Yeah.
that sounds dope," but
Yeah.
like, bro, what if we did something funky like this? And then you're like, "Okay, hold on, now my brain's working."
Yeah.
But I'm never the guy that could sit there, see the raw product, and see the finished product.
Yeah. I've always had a bit of an ear for it, and sort of always loved the finished thing. So.
When did you get into music?
When I started playing piano when I was really young, like 7. But
Piano. See that? Honestly, if there was one instrument I could choose to play in the world, it would probably be the piano.
That's
Really?
the
Yeah.
it's the basis for like so
Yeah.
much stuff.
I don't know why, man. There's something about like the Jerry Lewises, the Billy Joels, the Elton Johns,
Yeah.
the Yannis. You know, just the guys that can really play the freaking piano.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what it is, but I love it. You
Yeah.
know, Ray. You know, obviously you got Stevie Wonder. You
Yep.
know.
Dude.
Yeah.
Duke Ellington.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look
Duke,
that up.
dude.
I don't. If I've heard it, I just don't, it doesn't sound familiar at the moment.
You've definitely heard some Duke
You definitely
Ellington,
would've.
but
Okay.
but God, yeah.
George Winston. Brad used to listen to a lot of George Winston,
Yeah.
specifically the album Autumn.
There you
That
go.
was always on in the shop.
Yeah, yeah.
Always on in here,
Yeah.
bro.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brad was a music lover, dude.
Yeah, his guitar's around here somewhere. I keep trying to
sweet.
trying to pawn it off on his kid.
Trying to point it off? Like,
Yeah.
you won't take it?
Well, he probably will. I don't know if he just hasn't thought about it. You know,
Right.
when he gets his own place, maybe I'll
That would be a good idea.
slide it to him, or when he goes to the military, take it with the military or something.
Is it going?
Yeah, I think he talked about joining the Air Force.
Cam.
I think, yeah,
Man,
yeah.
good for him.
We'll have to check in with him and find out. But yeah, I interviewed him and Savannah and Madeline in a video not too long ago. But yeah, man. So all right, so let me get back to you guys though, 'cause that's why we're here. So I've known Brandon for about 6 years now. So Brandon, how did you get into music? How long have you been playing? And who did you sell your soul to get your voice? We all know that's how this works around here. How much
Exactly.
blood did you drink?
Oh my gosh.
Whose baby did you steal?
Megan Fox's.
No, it's still in there.
What?
You don't want that one. Look, bro, I'm from Cleveland. I've seen MGK a lot, bro. You don't want that one.
Okay. Valid. I'll take your advice. I I got on. I've always been a fan of music, and actually, before I was even playing guitar, I was a dancer.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Wait,
I
what?
think I knew this. Yeah, that's right.
We've already talked about the Thunder from Down Under. Define dancer, because you can't just throw the word dancer out there like that.
I did, like, when dubstep dancing was a popular thing.
Okay.
Like, I can moonwalk really well.
Okay.
I can, like, do weird stuff with my arms and my neck and all that crazy jazz.
You see this dude up there singing
Could've seen
country,
this.
pop locking and dropping it.
Man,
Yeah, what the fuck, dude?
Man, come on.
We've been playing all these shows and you haven't done that?
honestly, I got neck problems from doing it so much. There was
Well,
one
tough
time
shit, Buttercup.
I went to the chiropractor, and the chiropractor was like, "Yeah, you're really stiff up here in your neck. What's the issue? You want to do some X-rays?" I'm like, "Sure." And he goes, "If you mess this up anymore, you're getting surgery and you're getting new discs." And I was like, "Dude,
Whoa.
He's like breakdancing, head spins, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
You've been pop locking and dropping it too much.
Too much.
yes, bro." Pretty much.
There's too much sauce. You're drowning in it. Jesus.
No, yeah, bro. I was a dancer at first, and I was a huge Michael Jackson fan.
Yep.
Okay.
Like, I would dance like Michael Jackson, pretty much, for a long time.
Yep.
And then, as I got older, I ended up moving schools, and everyone knew me as the new kid that could, like, moonwalk, and I had a
Yeah.
great reputation at this new school. And then I met my buddy Alec, who actually passed away right before Brad.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, I met him, and he taught me how to play guitar. We ended up, he was like, "You want to start a band?" And I was like, "I'll start a band with you. Yeah, let's do it, bro." I knew nothing.
Like, what does this even mean, dude? Does this
Yeah.
mean we just rock out in a garage for 30 minutes?
Pretty
a day?
much.
Like,
And that's what it turned into. And I ended up falling in love with that and realizing that was all I was going to do.
dang.
And so then I was in ministry, and actually I had a really bad accident where I tore up my hand pretty well, and I couldn't play for a while. So I was like, I'll try and sing
Yep.
for now.
I'll try.
I'll try and
yeah.
sing for now.
See what happens, you know.
And sure enough, that's when I started really singing. I was actually a screamer in our metal band, so that's what I was doing before too.
You get a little taste of that
I had
at the
a-
end of whiskey.
Yeah,
I had a cousin that used to do that.
really.
Yeah, so I've met Devil Wears Prada, Sleeping Giant.
Oh, I love Devil Wears Prada.
We Came as Romans. A lot of those guys are from Ohio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, my cousin used to be in a screamo band called Forever Unspoken. They put out a small EP.
that's a good name,
Yeah,
bro.
it is.
Yeah. Dude, it was like two hands together with the rosary beads coming. Oh, dude,
wow.
it was very well done. But they're like in high school. What band stays together in high
Right.
school unless you're the Jonas Brothers?
Yeah, yeah. When you sell your soul to Walt Disney, yeah.
You know what I mean? So how long did you guys play together before you guys decided to put this album out?
So I was
A
on
gig.
a gig.
4 hours.
Yeah, 4 hours.
Yeah. A Sunday, September 27th of last year, to be specific.
Wow, it's like
Seriously?
an anniversary. I should be remembering.
I'm pretty
that.
sure it was the 27th.
It was something like, yeah,
I think
yeah.
it was the 27th.
How do you remember that?
Because that's the day I realized, I was like, well, our guy's leaving. He's going to be with us.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I was like, no, we got our guitarist.
yeah, yeah.
Cooper's going to be in this band.
Yep.
So, yeah.
What, you played 4 hours after the gig. You guys are like, all right, dude, fuck it, let's just do an album.
Yeah.
I'd played with him
We were-
like a gig before, and then we played a couple of gigs with him, and it was like, yeah, done.
Well, we played one gig.
One gig, yeah.
One gig with Cooper, and we're like, that's our guy.
That's the guy. Yeah.
Okay.
It just all. I don't know how to. But so outside of Twisted Trails, I do a lot of like fill-in gigs with a bunch of different people, and
So you're a session guitarist. So you play.
yeah, I guess I always think of it like gun for hire, but yeah, yeah.
Gun for Hire sounds much cooler than session
Yeah, and
set
that's
artist.
that's what I think. And
I'm a hired six string.
and I'm not knocking anyone that I've played with, but I'm like, all I'm saying is I walked up there with Twisted Trails, and I've never felt that before.
Yeah.
Just like the musical like click
Yeah.
of like this was right.
Yeah.
Huh.
And that's what I felt with him too. First time I played with him, I was like, it's there. There's that
It's just
thing.
Okay, so five songs on the album.
Yeah, we got 5. It's
So
5-song EP right now. So
how long does it take you guys from that show? Obviously, it sounds about a year, but realistically, how long did it take you guys to formulate that album after that 4-hour show where you guys are like, okay, we got to do something together?
So I mean, production on it started February of last year
Okay,
with 1 song,
okay.
and that song
song's not
is
even on
still
there.
not even out.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's like that, though.
we had to rewrite it.
yeah. Once we got the EP, we sort of realised that we
Didn't
kind of
fit.
changed the way we sort of sounded, and so we're redoing it, and it's going to be out. But
Okay.
You know what's even cooler about that? You know the song, and it was Brad's favorite song.
I'm sure I know it.
That's all I'll say.
I'm sure I know it.
That's all I'm gonna say. Don't say anything if you figure it out.
Okay, so that one's in the back pocket for later. Okay.
Oh, it's
it's
about to be done,
yeah.
and there's 2 versions of it coming out.
You gonna do like a acapella or like a really stripped down?
Yeah,
We really stripped down.
Okay.
just him and a guitar.
We were trying to figure out how to get the emotion across.
One man, one
And
cactus,
they literally,
no pants, one guitar. In the moonlight,
Oh man,
on top of Humphreys Peak, one bottle of whiskey.
pretty much, bro. Yeah, that's what happened.
How do I even add on? How do you even add on to that? Like you just.
yep.
Wow, that was
They-
impressive.
Sorry, I had a stroke.
No, I think you just had a stream of consciousness. That was incredible.
Oh man.
You mind
They-
passing me that one?
They
Yeah.
told me we were trying to get a take, and they just weren't. It wasn't working.
Sometimes in the studio, it's just so hard for getting the mood when everyone's just sitting in there, like, you know.
Yeah, you look like a fishbowl.
Right,
and
you're just like, do you think, man? And you know, so yeah.
And it's like,
yeah, like we'll get to that in a minute.
Basically, we ended up press record, and we both left the room, and he
Just said
took
do
his
your
time.
thing.
they were like, dude, just go. They hit record and let it go.
Yeah.
So no metronome, no nothing.
Yeah.
Just me and a guitar,
Yep.
an electric guitar to be specific.
Oh,
Yeah,
It probably wasn't
you
even
did
into.
switch. You did switch it up then.
it's switched
Yeah.
up.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Feels great.
It is really cool having like not only a band member as a producer, but also the studio is self-contained, and so there's no like time crunch. It's not like you're spending a bunch of money on like an out like per hour, you know. So you're not trying to like just knock it out.
Yeah, you're
You
virtually
know what I mean?
integrated.
Yeah. Well, you get the time to be like, you know, and you can be picky, and you get that liberty of like, it's not right, do it again.
Yep.
And so you can spend as much time as you want getting it right. And then there's a point that it comes to where you are like, you know what, this just is. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So like maybe I'll knock out a guitar part in 1 or 2 takes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes me more, but not being stuck on, all right, I have to pay this producer
Yep.
X amount of money, and I have to pay the studio like this amount of money. Like it is such a creative liberty,
Cool.
and it's
Well, it takes a big weight off your shoulder of stuff you don't have to worry about.
And we write in the recording process, so we immediately start creating the end product.
Yeah, that's a blessing for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess you don't really think about. Yeah, that ends up being yeah, you don't have to take stuff to a studio.
Right.
Well, and here's the other thing too is like when you pick somebody to produce your music, it's like me when I pick somebody to make my cigars.
Yeah,
It's got to be the right fit. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And until you get to be in, you know, the Timberlands and the, you know, the Dre's of the world, to have somebody that's mutually invested into your music outside of a paycheck, working on the production side of things, there's, you know, there's a lot more heart, soul, and love that's going to be put into that rather than just, hey, this guy's paying me and I'm good at my job.
Right.
There's like, no, this
I'm
is
invested too,
this
yeah.
is important because I'm on this bus too, bro.
Exactly. Exactly, man.
We can't be just steering off.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. So
So you mentioned something about like getting into a headspace and like being able to get to a spot where you need to record. So for me, like being an athlete, there was two guys that I ran track against in high school that were like your arch enemy, like your nemesis. Like when I saw those guys at a meet, I was like kind of in my own head already.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that I would get psyched up for basketball games, track meets, football, it was dangerous doing it for football. But I would literally make shit up.
Like make-up situation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, like
That's cool.
I could literally make myself hate anybody because I could literally just. So I'm a really lucid dreamer. I can literally just produce something that happens right here that never happens in my mind.
Yeah.
And then look at you guys and go, you didn't just see that happen?
Yeah, that's cool.
And you're like, are you freaking out of your? What are you on, dude?
Yeah.
Get off that cigar, dude.
What are you smoking over there?
Like, you guys got some new blends coming through from where? North Korea?
Dude, this new stuff from Zimbabwe, dude.
Acid in there.
Yeah, dude. No, but so I would just make up these crazy, vivid stories about like that dude did like something dirty and like, or that kid hit his mom the other day, and I'd see his mom in the stands like cheering, and then I would like put a sad face on her, and then I'd be like, I'd look for the mom holding the poster of the number that he's wearing, and then I'd like picture her face being like upset that like her kid's a jerk, and then I would just like
What are you smoking
tee off
over
at
there,
that
dude?
kid, bro. Yeah. So like, and track would be the same way. Like, I would make it like there was a kid named Josh Colbert. If you ever sees this, Josh, respect. But he passed me one time. He was working on his breathing, and he kind of screwed up on the turn on the 200, and I smoked him off the turn. And then all of a sudden, I just hear this train, dude, of like, and I look over, and this passes me, and I'm like, what the So for the rest of the time that I raced against him, I just imagined that he stole my phone, and that I had to get my phone back from him.
Wow. That
So
is
if he
really interesting.
so if he ever was in front of me, so like if I was in lanes 1, 2, 3, or 4, and he was in an outside lane, I already saw him. He was already in front of me. So
Actually,
immediately I'm wanting to chase him down to get my freaking phone back. And then once I take it back, I get past him and I make sure he never catches me again. I just make up weird stuff.
But we kind of did that
Yeah, like
to try and get him in
what
the
do
headspace.
Yeah,
Like,
well, in some of that stuff, you don't really have to make it up though, because you live some of the stuff.
Well, yeah, everything
Right,
that
that's-
song is written about, I mean, was lived.
there was
Everything in it.
there was a moment when we were doing Sunsets and Cigarettes, and there was just this one line, and I couldn't believe it, like the way he was singing it. So we created a scenario,
Yeah.
and
You're like, did that really happen, bro?
No, in this,
Did you
it was
really
more
not
in the
feel?
sense of like I wasn't there, but I know what Tristan's talking about.
yeah, to get him in the mood, in the headspace.
Like it just the delivery of the vocals like didn't have the conviction.
Yeah.
Right, you wanted everybody
It's
to
like-
feel the pain that
Yeah.
he was feeling when he said those words.
Because at the time, it was almost just like a song. Like,
Yeah.
you just hear like
you're reading words off a page.
like
Yeah.
there's a song that you could hear on a TV show, and it's like, oh, I'm paying attention to the scenery of the show and not the lyrics of the song.
yeah,
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to be able to have the lyrics portray the imagery instead of the imagery drowning out the lyrics.
and
Yeah,
the
when-
emotion, yeah.
When a song hits you like that, you can literally sit there. Like I just said, I'm a crazy lucid dreamer. So like I could literally close my eyes and put myself somewhere and create whatever realm that I need to create at that time for
Yeah,
it to work.
Yeah.
it's a good skill.
But man, so do you guys have to do anything like being a drummer? Like there's times where you got to get jazzed up to drum or like, because you're not always gonna
Tristan's always jazzed up, bro.
Yeah, it's not that hard
much,
for Tristan.
because I'm like, eventually, you guys are gonna keep playing more and more and more, and you guys have been playing a lot already. So like, there's times where like you walk up on a stage, I know you're just like, all right, I want to be here, I love doing this, but like 4 days straight, whatever, and then you're just like, all right, what do I got to do to get back into it? Like, is it the crowd? Is it the people? Is it meant you got to just psych yourself up? Is it just like you sit behind the drums and like you just start feeling it?
But yeah, I mean, it's as soon as I sit behind the drums, I
Rub your snare.
let's give it a little massage. But really, I just I just remember how fun it is, and it's like, all right, let's have some fun and play some music.
Dude, this is what I get to do.
This is what I do. Yeah, I get to do
Yeah.
this, and with a bunch of really cool dudes. So it's and just seeing their faces, like,
Bro,
everyone's-
I can already
yeah.
tell that, like, there's no way in hell you guys could get to a show and this dude doesn't bring your energy up immediately every freaking time,
right.
dude.
Yeah,
Every freaking time.
designated vibe right here.
Literally. And now he's got a talkback mic so we can hear him.
I haven't set that up a couple of times, but
Yeah.
Dude,
He's like, hey, man, pick it up. Y'all suck.
he's like,
He's like, what are we doing here? Y'all having fun
he'll
tonight?
literally, right just in our ears, we'll be like, all right, let's play Stupid Boy by Keith Urban. He's like, yeah, Keith Urban.
Yeah, man.
Keith Urban.
So, like, you're already feeling good just going
Yeah,
into the
just
song.
to hear them.
Yeah.
Because he's goofing and joking. Yeah.
And we'll laugh, though, too. Like, he'll say stuff and we don't hear him.
Yeah.
And we miss a cue that he throws out. We look back and he's just laughing.
Yeah.
And we're like, it's hard to be mad. It's hard to be upset.
Oh man, yeah.
That's important though, man. I've never in my jobs and in my sports careers, I've never you can always tell when you have a people that have fun together with what they're doing, it makes everything else so much easier to deal with.
The band becomes invincible
Yeah.
when that happens.
Yeah.
Like, it does. You don't have to be. I mean, you don't have to be the best, and I think
Yeah.
that a lot of people kind of miss that, including myself for a long time. I chased so hard to be the best at my craft. I made it and I did make it competitive, and that's not what it's about. And it's not like, it is a competitive industry in a sense, but the art is not competitive. I think the art of making music, when you master it, is your freedom of expression of whatever I want to convey on my instrument, whether that's vocals, drums, guitar, whatever.
Yeah.
When you have that freedom of whatever I feel I can convey, and someone else can feel what I'm feeling, I'm like, that's what it's really about. It's not about who's the fastest, who knows the most theory or anything like that. And like, I love jazz, so I'd study theory, and I still do, but it's with a different intent now than it was when I was younger.
Okay.
Yep. And
That's
it's that,
pretty neat, huh?
Yeah, dude, it's I'm like I said, dude. When you start getting into things that are artists, that are whether it's painting, whether it's music, whatever it is with art, man. Like, number one, you're always going to be your own worst critic, and you're always going to be the hardest on yourself, right? Like,
Every time.
but that's also a good thing in a way, right? Like, you're always going to challenge yourself to be better at your craft and find new ways and unique ways to do things that nobody else is doing, which drives you to get better, which pushes everybody else to get better, right? So, but it is one of the hardest things is getting out of your own head and not getting in the way. Yeah. So for me, like, when it comes to people that are artists and they have these unique skill sets, you're always, I feel like you're always in your own head. It's like, like being a sprinter. You can't rely on anybody else to really help you until you do get into a band. Now you've got other sounds, other things going on, other inputs. So I could understand how you could struggle with that and not wanting to just continue to beat yourself up over getting better.
Well,
and better.
I think it's important that you do. I think it's important that you always are more or less kind of kicking your own ass to be better. Because I think that's where you have to push. You have to push your own envelope and to like get farther, and that's where you make your best stuff.
Yeah, you can't be complacent.
Yeah, or you can't get, I don't think you can ever get comfortable in music. I get sick of hearing myself and my own playing. Well, especially because like I'm the only.
I hate editing my videos, bro. I get it.
But like, because I improvise most of my solos. When we do the originals, I play pretty close to the record because I wrote those parts. But like the covers, I make them my own, and like when I'm improvising, it is like I'm so just in the moment of like what mood am I in that day, Sometimes a solo is happier, sometimes it's sadder, sometimes it's, it's truly just channeling in what do I feel right at that second.
That's, I never really thought about that. Like,
And sometimes I'm better at it than others. Sometimes my solos suck.
well, no, that's a good point though, because there's like, you've got people that will go to every show on a tour that somebody has, because there's gonna be, so like for what you're saying, there's a possibility your guitar solo might be different at every single show, and
It is different at every single
killer,
show.
and you don't want to miss it because of how you knew the last one was good, and you're like, dude, this next one might be better. I gotta go see it.
Yep.
It might be worse.
That's also possible, but that's what you're there for, It's all right, let's go through. I got some funky questions here. What's the weirdest thing that's happened to each of you individually on stage during a show?
Oh man.
Should we save? Tristan has the most experience, so I'm curious. We're saving you for the end. Brandon, go.
Like, didn't bring back up, drumstick, like what?
I was playing in Apache Junction at. I'm not going to talk about where because I don't want this to be like a.
Start with
issue,
a G.
right? Yeah.
Okay, I know where you're at.
I was on stage and there was this. How do I describe? Okay,
Individual.
hippie.
Oh,
She was a hippie.
That's
we'll
fair.
just say she was a hippie. She had long dreads and everything, and she was walking up. You could tell she was on multiple different drugs.
Was she lost? Normally they're up north in Sedona, not down there in
She was on a big trip. Was it?
No, she
walked all the
wasn't
way
lost,
down barefoot.
but she had to have been on some kind of drugs, and she was definitely drinking. Like we could smell her from 5 feet away. It would
The alcohol or the hippie?
both.
Okay.
It was coming out of everywhere, man. It was. But she was like yelling. She was just really obnoxious, and I'm like, all right, whatever. It is what it is. And then she starts throwing jalapeno poppers at my guitar.
What?
And
Wait.
she was
Cream cheese or cheddar cheese?
They
Phil?
were
This
cream-
matters.
Yeah, that is an important
were- it
question.
was-
Yeah.
It was cream cheese.
The fact that you even
Dude.
know it is better.
She was aiming for that sound hole.
Yeah.
She was aiming for that sound hole.
Really?
And pretty much all of them almost got in, except for one. One of them landed on top, and I just got to the point. I was like, can someone get her out of here? And I just stopped. I was like, get her out of here. She hopped up on stage and lifted her shirt. And there was like 3 families there.
Oh.
It was, I had some choice words for that lady. I was like, I'm not sitting up here talking about anything vulgar or singing about anything vulgar. You just got up here and flashed every person here. Get out. And then
Wow.
people were like, I'm calling the cops. I'm calling the cops.
Yeah.
You should have stopped this before. And I was like, me?
So were you playing the guitar, or was
I was
it just
I was
sitting there?
playing
Mid-song.
guitar.
So she was trying to sink freaking jalapeno
Yes.
poppers while you were playing, dude.
And I was like, what's going on? Some old lady was like trying to get her to stop. And she was like grabbing her arm and she just kept throwing them at me. I was like, stop.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
God.
That was a fun time. I think that's probably the weirdest for now. Maybe one day we'll have.
Yeah, no, that's pretty weird, dude.
Yeah, it is weird.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a pretty good story.
Close
If you guys go there and you ask about the hippie girl 2 years ago, they will tell you.
Wow.
They will tell you.
I had a similar thing in a casino once. This dude started just walked on the stage and started trying to push me off the drum stool, mid song. I'm playing a song,
drum set.
and he's like trying to push in and grabs the stick. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm playing a song, man. And then security came and got him eventually, but yeah, same thing.
This guy sucks. I'm playing the drums.
Literally mid song, I'm playing. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Actually, another really funny one was these balloons got released at this gig, and all these flying around the stage, and one just landed right in my snare, and I'm trying to hit the snare, and it's just bouncing right. I'm like, get out of the way! It wouldn't pop. It just kept bouncing my stick off it.
See, that's cool though. That's like a funny one
It was
though. Where
funny,
you're just
yeah.
like, well, fuck it, dude.
And the band's just pissing themselves laughing. Oh man, that was
So-
a bit.
Let's see. So I did this festival in Mexico, and we were doing. It was the last show of Sunday, so it was the very last show closing out the festival, and the monitors aren't on. We can't hear anything, and we're starting, and it was very poorly coordinated, and none of the A2s spoke English, so you're just pointing at you're just pointing at shit, you know.
Yep.
By the way, I should have asked this before we hit record. Can I swear on this?
Yeah, I mean, I could have been this the time. I can also edit stuff, but yeah, no, you're good.
All right, cool. So so you're just pointing at shit, and you're like up. That's all I could. That's all I knew how. I was like, just fuck up.
Oh, to fix the audio.
Yeah, and so we're like, fuck it, whatever, you know. So we're starting the first song, and I'll play with this band regularly. I don't know these. There's a lot of the songs on that set list that I just don't know.
Yeah.
And so they start this song. I don't know the song. I can't hear, and they shoot off fireworks behind us to close out the festival, and all of us are just like, "What the fuck is going on?" I can't hear the drums. There's no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
At that point, you just stop playing because all the things are going boom, and
Yeah, you're just like so dumb. You're like,
you should have just started playing the Star
you're
Spangled
like,
Banner.
yeah, in another country,
In Mexico.
in Mexico.
That's some Kitty Power stuff
That's
right there.
a statement
Eastbound and
that'll
Down.
get someone mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he doesn't have an amp on stage too, so it's all through his pedal. So if you
okay.
Yeah.
can't hear himself.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I don't use amps anymore. Just having my board and tone is the same. It's easy to set up. Life has gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, amps suck.
Amps
bro.
do suck. Brandon's amp broke.
Yeah. We're trying to convince him to get on the
Yeah,
the pedal train.
just get him.
Is it just
Go the
more? Is
pedal
it just
route.
more work when you have the pedal because you got to do it manually?
No,
It's
I already have pedals.
It depends how in
Yeah.
depth you want. It's really as much work as you want to put into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just, I mean, you got to hook up different things up to the amp. If you don't have that, you got to mic up the amp and just a lot of things that go into it. So like Cooper's direct, he just plugs the entire pedal board like
straight into the PA.
right where he needs to go.
There's no mics. There's no tubes going wrong, and there's no It's just
But you got to kind of put that board together yourself, though, right? The pedals and all that.
I mean, yeah, and I went like, I mean, I'm not the thing that I got, like, there are guys that do like MIDI syncing, and so it like, they don't even have to touch their board. It'll be, because it's all like track based, and it'll
do all your changes.
it'll do all the changes, and I don't do that route, but like, yeah, I've gone in, I've done all the EQ and picking out mics and like stuff like that. So yeah.
That's crazy.
Anyways, nerdy guitar talk.
yeah.
Right? Like, never really thought about like the programming side of like what you guys do for your sets. Like,
Yeah, and like, I don't know, the sounds is always changing, not just like tones, but also like musically. Like, I feel like the band is always evolving and going in like directions. It's cool. Like, we'll get done almost every session we do where we come up with a new song. We're like, we walk away and we're like, that didn't go at all
Like
how
we thought.
how we thought it was gonna. There is no plan of attack. It's just you'd sit there and
Yeah.
it just, I don't know, flows.
Yeah.
Okay.
The song creates itself.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like situationally, like we were talking about earlier, like how are these songs like portrayed and written? Dude, Whiskey Before Noon, all of those lyrics except for the chorus of Whiskey Before Noon was written at a gig on the breaks.
Oh, really?
And we played it that night.
Oh, we played it that night. Yeah.
Like at the end of the gig, that's what you played? Like,
Yeah.
oh, my
Last
goodness.
song.
Last song.
Yeah.
That's great. Like, lyrics I understand to a point, right? Like when you're really good creatively and you're a good writer, you have somebody that's a good writer, I can understand coming up with the lyrics of a song really quick and easily. But how do you come up with what freaking notes you're gonna play on a guitar and what fucking drum you're gonna hit?
Oh,
See,
that's the
pedal
easy
you're
part
gonna
for
I'm
me.
the- I'm the opposite.
That is the easiest part.
How's that the easiest part?
Lyrics are the hardest part, bro. 'Cause
Really?
you can get up there and you can rhyme whatever words you want, but is it going to make any sense?
Yeah, but to create a sound that doesn't exist right now that fits those lyrics
But now you also have to think about writing a vocal melody. What notes are you going to sing to the guitar?
The melody is more important than the lyrics, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Dang.
Well, depends.
Well,
Yeah, because
you can have great lyrics with a shitty melody.
You can.
It won't translate, But you can have a, amazing melody with shitty lyrics, and people will still sing along to it.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, that's
Nobody
true.
cares about the. But I think
Not
it's
anymore.
catchy.
Yeah.
But, well, I don't think anyone ever really did. There's a lot of bullshit that was written back.
The brain
back
rot
then.
that is going
Yeah.
around right now. No
Oh,
one's paying attention to
dude, don't even
lyrics.
get me started. I could go off, but
Some of my favorite songs, I still have no idea what the lyrics are.
Wake up!
Numa, yeah.
Yeah.
There, got a pie.
So where did who are all your guys' is like actually let's ask this first since we just talked about the song. Well, what song on the album are you drawn most towards and why?
everyone on 3. 1, 2, 3. Whiskey before noon.
Whiskey before noon.
It's all the same for you guys?
I
Yeah.
guess so, yeah.
So what,
I mean,
the rest of them are just filler tracks?
All of them.
No, they're all
feel
great
like-
songs.
No, they all,
I feel like all of them hold a certain weight, but I think it was just like, obviously, like when you see us live, we love to get loud and we love to have fun on stage, like more than anything.
I love making noise.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
But at the same
supposed to be
time,
his
like,
job.
I play really loud, too. So
I think we all love making a lot of
Yeah.
noise.
yeah, definitely. But no, like I love singing. Like I love a great ballad. I do. But there's something about me being able to scream behind a microphone as loud as I can that's just like, let's go. And also like the song is not that deep.
yeah.
It's like
No.
it is not that
It
deep.
like substance wise in terms of lyrics, it's definitely like the other ones have so much. I don't even.
They're emotional, all of them.
I like it's hard to be like. I don't think there is a song on there that's and that's kind of like that kind of was the whole intent when we were writing the EP was like, well, we want it to be really diverse and really genre bending, and like sometimes it's like different songs on the EP will connect with me more from
Yeah.
night to night or just just the time of the day. I'll feel something else because the EP does cover a really wide
Yep.
range.
Oh yeah, in the 5 songs that are on it, absolutely. I mean, you got Mama, which obviously you can feel
Yep.
whoever
Yeah.
was writing that, whatever your guys' inspiration was for that song, right?
My mom, our moms.
Well, every mom, really.
Obviously, right?
Every-
Yeah, but I don't want to make assumptions of who does what.
Sure, yeah.
but- so I try to keep it.
No, yeah, you're good.
Yeah. No, you're good.
But yeah, and then you can tell like Sunsets and Cigarettes, like literally when that song was playing for the first time in my headphones, and I'm sitting outside on my patio, and I'm looking out at my backyard, and when I heard that song and I was listening to it, I pictured exactly who you're talking about. I'm gonna see him today at a softball game, standing next to the fence, smoking a cigarette with the dang Arizona sunset going down behind a freaking mountain, dude. I was like, man, that's about as Arizona as it gets, really, when you think about it.
It's yeah.
Then you talk about the Arizona orange and like the sunset, and then you got the Phoenix Suns and how the sky's always kind of orange when it sunsets.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like,
mean,
yeah,
it's-
bro.
And that was actually the most co-written song on the entire.
Oh,
EP.
okay.
It's the most simply played and sung, and it was the most co-written.
Really?
It's crazy how that happens.
It's
Got
funny
like 6
because
riders on it or something.
I did I made a post, and I was like, "What's everyone's favorite?" The EP had been out for like a month, and I posted on our story. I was like, "What's everyone's favorite song on the EP?" And the two most popular picks were Whiskey Before Noon and Sunsets and Cigarettes, and I thought it was cool because they are polar
Completely
opposite songs.
That's how you
And-
know we don't have a picky
Yeah.
listening
Yeah.
crowd. You know,
Yeah,
Like, we don't
well,
have picky listeners.
I think even though they're opposite, there's still a similar upbeatness to Sunsets and Cigarettes that that is kind of similar to Whiskey Before Noon, whereas Whiskey Before Noon is like, cool, I'm rocking this out when I'm getting ready for work. Right?
They're both about substance.
Well,
Yeah.
fair enough. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I could see that because the other two more raw. Like you get way more
They're
raw
very
in the
raw,
other
yeah.
two for sure. It's not so much the first one as you do in Mama. I forget the other one. Is it Distance?
Yep.
And then One More Kiss.
Yep.
Yeah.
With
Okay.
Leah Cross. Shout out.
That's right. So
It's her birthday today, by the way.
Oh shit.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday.
Leah.
Had to throw it out there.
Yeah.
okay.
She's amazing. Amazing singer.
So what's next for you guys, man? Like what are you guys looking towards in the future? What is the vision? Are you guys staying local? You guys thinking about
No.
going on tour? Like what are you doing,
So, actually, Tristan, since you're the one who's more familiar with what's coming up, why don't you tell him?
I mean,
In October.
oh yeah, okay, that one. Yeah, so we're going to do a little festival over in Virginia,
bro? Okay.
which it's a Blackfest over there that I've been a part of for a few years and actually many years, but it's that'll be our first kind of what.
He's yelling at you to get
Mike.
closer
Yeah,
to
yeah,
the
yeah.
mic.
Yeah, you were cutting out again.
So it's in Virginia then. Okay. That's a good little how many sets you got to do there?
Just
one.
one.
Just one, yeah,
Just one set?
It's all original, no covers.
yeah,
30 minutes?
hour.
Hour set?
An hour, yeah. By that time, we're going to have more.
Obviously, it's a paid gig, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's
Yep.
go.
And it's direct support,
Yep.
so
Okay.
That'll be good.
big stage.
Yep.
Real big stage.
Yeah.
That's awesome, bro.
So that'll be our first kind of big festival sort of show. So.
Is it like in the woods somewhere? Is it like a creepy festival?
It's on the beach,
So,
right?
yeah, it's on like the Potomac, right on the Potomac River there. So.
It's not. Is it for the military or anything?
No, but it is opposite a military base.
Oh, okay. So you're on the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
But,
gonna say I wasn't sure how close that was to like Norfolk and all that up there.
Yeah.
It's like 3 or 4 bases up that way.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, it's all it's around that area.
And we've also started production on,
Yeah.
I guess right now, 4 songs, pretty much.
Yeah.
If you count the one and having the 2 versions, but
Yep.
we're working on a new album right now.
Okay. You
So-
gonna keep the EP as its own, or is it gonna blend into
I
the
probably
complete
keep
album?
it as its own.
Yeah.
It's a good introduction.
I like that. Yeah, I wouldn't blend it into what you're doing.
Yeah, and I wanted that to be the basis as far as like something I was gonna say about, you heard people, they're like, oh, this person's sold out. They're making crappy music now. I like their old stuff.
Yep.
We did everything on the first EP, so no one can tell us to go back to our roots with anything we come out with.
It's a good
Yeah,
point.
because there is a good mix on there. Yeah, so if you wanted to make an album that you're feeling some type of way about something, you guys are like, dude, we got to put out just 5 songs that just like get this out.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's also like you guys have so much. So like that's a good question to ask now. Obviously, you're not signed to a record label, right? You're independent.
Yep.
So like you have freedom to put out whatever you want to put out. If you want to put out 2 albums in 1 year and one super upbeat and one super sappy, or you want to blend them together and put it all on one album, you can do that, right? Like
Yeah.
that's a blessing, man. That creative freedom in the music industry is a
I think that's what we're
huge
about to
blessing.
do.
Yeah. It is.
Because I know a lot of people that 20 more years they'll get their masters, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I think a lot of people get stuck in, well, what is my, maybe stuck is the wrong word, but like, I think a lot of people do think of like, well, what is my sound? And then they come, and then they find kind of their thing, and they kind of just stay there and not like,
They feel like they have to stay there. Yeah.
yeah, and
Like Linkin Park, they changed a little bit, but for the most part, like
but the Linkin
Yep.
Park
yeah,
sound, right?
And Chester's gonna be there.
Yep.
Shinoda might rap
right,
a little.
and big time in country. I mean, it like
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
that's I'm not a big country listener, so
Yeah.
the fact that I even am rocking your album is a testament
Hey,
to how
thanks.
good
Is it because you know us?
No, I mean, I'll put it this way: I listened to it initially because I knew you,
Yeah.
but I don't continue to listen to it because I know you. You don't know what I'm listening to. I
True.
know. I don't have to tell you I'm listening to it.
No, you're right.
Right.
You may never know.
You're right.
right.
Yeah.
You can look at what my last songs were listened to and see.
DMX, guarantee it. That's on there. It's got to be on there.
What?
Dude,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Nah, it's on there, but it ain't. I haven't listened to DMX in a
DMX,
while.
man. God, it's my childhood.
Nah,
I know you're a hip hop guy.
Oh yeah, dude. No, I listen to a lot of music, man. I love man, I grew up so spoiled. My family listened to everything. My dad only listened to country. My grandfather would only listen to Johnny Cash. So like when I started driving tow trucks when I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So my grandfather had an automotive and towing business for 50 years. He still goes there on a daily basis and works. He's in his 80s. And if we took a tow truck ride together, that was it, man. And one of the trucks only had one tape in it, one cassette, and it was Ring of Fire.
Oh wow.
That was it. We would listen to Ring of Fire, Boy Named Sue,
Boy Named Sue is one of my favorite songs of all
Folsom
time.
Prison Blues.
Dude,
Take Your Gun to Town.
God's gonna cut you down is my favorite.
Dude, that's
Johnny
an old
Cash
one.
song.
That's a new one. Like he was old when he made that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
You can hear him like slurring a little bit. It's gritty, dude. It's
tell
raw.
No, you hear it.
liar.
Yeah.
Go tell that midnight rider. Yeah, pretty much.
He also did a cover of one of my favorite.
That's real.
One of my favorite
Gambler,
bands.
gambler.
One of my favorite bands of all time is Soundgarden. They're probably the most influential band on me musically.
Soundgarden.
And yeah,
Okay.
And he covered Rusty Cage by them, and oh
So
my god, it's such a good cover.
And the 9 Inch Nails cover too.
Yeah,
It's
and I mean that
whole
everyone
entire
knows about
Cash.
that one.
Yeah.
That whole Cash
so
album is
iconic.
pretty much covers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he did Desperado by the Eagles,
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Dude, Trent Reznor literally went on and he was like, "That's Johnny Cash's song
Yeah.
now."
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
you know.
It was so real.
Desperado. I'm gonna be
well,
doing that my whole drive
didn't he
home
do
now.
that cover after his wife died?
Yeah.
And so like,
Yeah.
yeah, you watch the video and you hear him sing it, and you're like, "Oh my god!" I was at MIM and they had a whole like exhibit for him, and they played that song, and I was there with my mom, and we were both bawling.
Yeah.
Oh, the MIM is the Musical Institute Museum.
Musical Instrument Museum.
There we go. I'm
Something
an
like
idiot.
that.
They have something for Johnny, like a whole thing for Johnny
Yeah.
Cash.
You can do a.
They have different like. So you go into. I mean, that museum is huge.
It's so cool.
You have to
It's
spend.
incredible.
Been
You
there.
have
It's
to
awesome.
spend multiple days. But
Yeah.
like, so we went to the American exhibit or whatever,
Yeah.
the American section of it, and each one they have like different kind of. I can't think of another word other than exhibit, but it's not like a whole like room. It's just a little like
Yeah.
thing. It's got like some of his clothes, and I think his guitars there,
Yeah.
and like it just talks about him, and and it goes over so many different artists.
That's so sick.
You'd have to spend multiple days going.
That place
there.
is crazy.
I want to go. I haven't
It's
been.
it's awesome,
I
man.
haven't
They
been.
do a
They
huge
got like
audio
Elvis suits
tour.
there and stuff. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's
Yeah.
it's in North Scottsdale. If you're ever out in Scottsdale and you want a really cool music experience, you can go to that museum here,
Yeah.
and the Musical Instrument Museum, and they do a full on audio guided tour, and it's absolutely incredible. I mean, Fender's out here. I mean, a lot of people don't know that, but yeah,
Yeah.
Fender's
Yeah.
out here.
Yep.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. But that brings me. Let me ask you guys this. So who is most of your guys' musical inspiration? I mean, obviously we got a big part of that.
My musical inspiration is our bassist Caleb, who is not here today.
Caleb, we love you.
Yeah. Caleb actually just got done being on tour, but I'm sorry, that's besides the point. You guys want to start? I got to think of my answer.
Tristan, why don't you go ahead?
Man. I don't really have like favorite artists as much as like albums that I defined my
I feel like
musical upbringing. It's like
I feel like just from like what you've, like the conversations that like
yep.
that we've had, I feel like your almost focus on your career has kind of shifted away from playing and more into production.
Yeah, yeah.
You can tell me if I'm wrong.
No,
but
definitely. I
that's-
mean,
Which could make you a better player in a weird way.
oh, for
'Cause you're
sure.
thinking so far ahead when you're playing.
Well, you gotta. I call it kind of ascension in that sense. Well, yeah, because you've gone beyond yourself and what you're doing.
Good way
and
to
you're-
put it, man.
I've always kind of loved production, from when I first started playing. But it's I guess I play the drums for what the song needs. I've never been like a drummer's drummer. I don't practice.
You don't go and just pound
no,
on
I
them,
don't.
right? You're
No,
like,
I,
all
I
right,
hate playing drums by themselves.
where do I
you
fit
know?
into this, and how do I make
Right.
it executed
So it's
to the
always I've always learnt enough of the instrument to get what I want out of the song.
best? Okay.
So, and that's always forever. Like, I would play along to my favorite albums, and if there was a bit I couldn't do, I'd figure that out, and then that would become part of my skills. But I never sat down and did like rudiments and like ever. I hate it.
So, I'm assuming you were born in Australia.
Yeah.
Where at?
Canberra.
Canberra. Okay.
Yeah.
I have some friends in like Adelaide.
Cool. Yeah.
I forget what the other area is called. It might come to me. Best rum I've ever had to this day, still Bundaberg Red.
Man, Bundaberg. Yep.
I fought for 5 years.
Yeah.
I had somebody going to Australia every year for 5 years straight. I knew one person that was going to Australia randomly.
Yeah.
On the 5th year, somebody brought me back a bottle. Because they don't export it. They don't send it anywhere.
Yeah.
It's amazing stuff.
It's a rum. Yeah.
So when did you come to the U.S.?
2013.
Oh, so you've only been here 20 years almost, not 20 years.
I guess
10.
10 years, 13 years.
13
I can't
years.
forget.
Yeah, 13. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So being from Australia, what were some of your albums that you really were drawn to? Was there any music in Australia locally that you were drawn to, or was a lot of it international?
A lot of it was international, but Australia has an incredible.
Dude, Airborne's one of my favorite.
There you
bro.
go. Yep, I played with them a bunch in Australia.
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, who's these AC/DC guys?
Yep.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
I freaking love it, dude. Let's go.
Before they were like doing, headlining Download Festival and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. And when they were just a pub band, we played with a bunch around.
No
Australia,
kidding.
so,
Okay.
Yeah. Did a few road trips with those guys, fun dudes. But there's a really, really high standard of music down there. Like it's
Really?
Yeah, especially in like the prog rock sort of scene, like Carnival, and I don't know if you've heard of it. Yeah, but there's a really cool like group of bands that all kind of challenge each other and to push the envelope, and it just that's
So-
some of my favorite stuff. It's awesome.
So who's somebody in Australia that everybody should be listening to that they're not because they've never heard of them?
If you haven't heard Carnival,
Long Reef.
Carnival. Oh boy.
that was my Australian band,
What? Long Reach.
Long Reef.
Oh, Long Reef. Okay.
Yeah. But Carnival with a K if you need to look it up.
Okay.
But,
I don't know if I've heard of any of their stuff. I'll have to look it up.
It's amazing music. Like it's prog rock basically. So
Okay.
Dude,
long
can
songs.
we talk about 12-Foot Ninja?
And
for
12-Foot Ninja,
30?
yeah.
Dude, oh my.
Foot Ninja.
Yeah, 12-Foot Ninja, awesome band. They're like a metal band, but there's like funk, there's like jazz, there's like disco, and they seamlessly meld it together. It's like incredible.
It's and we talk about it a lot as a band. We're like, I get in awe less about parts or whatever, but when the amalgamation of the song is something beyond my comprehension of what I could write,
Yep.
I get I get floored. I geek the fuck out.
How do they do that? How do they think of that? And
How did you get to?
Dang it! Why didn't I do that?
Right.
How did you get to that conclusion? What you know? How do you go from one?
Yeah.
How do you go from this rock thing to this like jazz funk fusion? And I'm like,
And it
there's no,
works.
and it's seamless
Yeah.
and it feels natural. And I'm like, I get so nerdy about that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Sleep Token are doing it now.
Yes, I was gonna say Sleep Token.
I was just waiting for you to talk about Sleep Token.
Man, that's
Through the
that's
baton to
probably
you.
my biggest influence at the moment.
Sleep Token. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you need to get that?
You want us to keep talking?
Still recording.
Since we're on here, actually, well, let's take. Since we're on here, let's take the time to
Yeah.
tell everyone you guys can follow us on Instagram at Twisted Trails Music.
Twisted Trails Music. TikTok is Twisted Trails Band. Yeah, go follow all those.
Anyone in Arizona for 4th of July weekend. The 3rd, actually, we're playing at Tom Ryan's in Chandler. And then we're going to be at the new Duke's Roadhouse in Maricopa on 4th of July. You can catch the whole band there from 8:30 to 12:30 p.m. And,
The 5th, we're at Whiskey Row Gilbert.
yeah, Whiskey Row Gilbert, 8:30 to 10:30, full band. So come check us out.
Yeah. Do that. Make us feel good.
I guess we can wait for Justin
Please.
now.
Scream at every guitar solo, even
Yeah.
if it's bad.
Yeah, just please
Throw
make
some
sure
jalapeno
Yeah.
poppers at Brandon.
make sure Cooper leaves that gig happy. Just
Throw 'em all
do not get on stage and lift your shirt.
Yeah,
Jeez.
no, don't do that.
Make sure Cooper leaves happy. Just scream for every solo.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's a really famous video of it's in a Phil Collins show. I think they were playing Easy Lover, and it gets to the guitar solo, and
It's
so
so
Phil
good.
Collins.
Downtown Phoenix, and then one in like South Phoenix.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Fillmore Coffee Co.
Fillmore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to check it
Oh,
out.
check it out, man.
I will, yeah, for sure. I always need somewhere to ride my bike,
There you go.
you know, and coffee shops are usually easy places for that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Brandon's looking at me so judgmentally.
No,
because
I'm
I
making
haven't
sure that
s-
his cigar isn't
Yeah,
getting
that's
all
why.
messed
That's
up.
why I'm.
No, it's smoking,
Puffing
dude.
on
He's
it.
doing good.
Yeah.
He's got the lighter over there. He's solid.
I've throughout this whole. You'll just hear me go.
Bro, I've
And,
just been coming here for so long, having such amazing time with cigars. I never want anyone to have a bad experience. Like
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like
fair. That's fair.
paranoid about it.
Dude, anytime somebody cuts, like, there's a couple cigars that if you cut too far, like the King's Comeback, it's barely double capped. Sometimes, usually barely double capped.
Yeah.
So if you cut that cigar a little bit too much, it will unravel.
Yeah.
And people do it in the lounge on accident all the time. You just grab a cutter and you just cut it, and you're not thinking, and then you're like, oh shit, this thing's unraveling. I hate when that happens. I have to grab them another one. And people a lot of times are like, no, it's okay, I'll just smoke. I'm like, no, bro, you're not just smoking the binder, dude. Like, what are you doing? No, let me get you another one, bro. We're not doing that. So I can feel you on that, but that's my business, though, so I have to be that way.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that, too,
I try.
you know?
I try.
You know, so, well, heck yeah, man. We'll have to see if we can. You know, I've been doing some stuff with a couple. This other distillery here called Outlaw.
Oh,
down in-
nice. I was
down in
actually trying to go there yesterday with my parents who were
Oh.
in town, but it was closed on a Sunday. I was like,
Yeah,
"Damn."
they had their big opening Saturday.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah.
They're amazing people.
Yep.
Used to be a distillery called Adventure Stills, and they were bought by a company in Utah called Outlaw Distillery.
Yep.
Almost all of the bourbons.
Shout out Utah. I used to live there.
Okay.
Yeah, I lived in Ogden.
Ogden. Okay.
Yep.
Still got the license plate on your car, right?
Yeah, hell yeah, that's never coming off. Dude, I leave. So you only have to
You get a
change.
fine.
You only no, you only have to change the back one. You can leave the front
Yeah.
one on. So like, I'm gonna get a new truck. I'm putting the Utah plate on that.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm like, that's
That's
staying
awesome.
there.
I might take one of my Ohio ones up to Big Earl's. There's no Ohio plates in there. You ever notice that? Next time you're at Big Earl's Greasy Eats in Cave Creek, look around in like the bathroom and stuff.
I remember playing.
There's not an Ohio license plate in there.
Really,
Yeah, and not that I've
Dang.
seen.
Wow.
I played
gotta put it
for-
in there.
a Zeal event at Big Girls one time.
That was a lot of fun.
That was interesting.
That was a lot of fun. It was hot that night too.
It was. It wasn't it. It was July, wasn't it?
It was July, bro.
Cave Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting. But yeah,
That was a fun time though.
this distillery is all local sourced corn and grains. It's super cool. Like they get like green, red, and blue corn from the tribes here,
Wow.
and they have like really small batch of like all blue corn whiskey, like that North Rim bottle right there that's empty. All that corn and grain comes from areas up on the North Rim. That's why it's called the North Rim.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're worth going to.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
For
Sweet.
sure. Yeah.
Thinking about. You were saying you were thinking about.
Oh, bro, I'm hoping that we can just. I'm hoping there's opportunities to get you guys into some events with them too.
Definitely. I'm always proud for that. Always down for
even-
that.
We charge for private events though.
Oh yeah, dude. Hell yeah, you do.
Quite a bit.
You have to now.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
this shit ain't free.
Yeah.
Come
yeah.
on.
No, it's not.
Come on.
They're selling liquor. They got the money.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll source it. I'm the
They're
source of their
selling
money.
liquor if we show up. I'll tell you
That's
that
right.
much, dude.
To us.
Dude,
That's what I meant. Yeah.
there have been gigs that I've done, and I'm a big fan of whiskey
Yeah.
and
me too.
bourbon. And I'll get done, and I close out my tab, and I'm like, I made $25.
Because it all went to the tab.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Well, a lot of places will let you drink like a couple drinks free, don't they?
They give
You give you a little
It
tap.
doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I'm
It's-
still racking them.
Yeah.
because those free ones go by so fast,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Like you get there, you're like, can I get my free one real quick while I set up?
Yeah.
And then you start, and you're already sweaty from setting up, so you're not feeling anything. You're not relaxed.
Yeah.
You just sweat everything out that you just drank. So now you're like, guess I'm gonna go pay a full tab now. You know, here we go.
Yeah.
Please
Until we're huge. and
Drink
we can-
responsibly.
Yes. Yes.
Goodness gracious.
Drink responsibly. Be responsible for your whole tab.
Yes. How you tab at the end?
Oh, who's not paying tabs, bro?
Oh, man.
It's happened to all of us.
Yeah.
Tip your Uber.
Yeah.
They have to put up with your ass.
Yeah.
Dude,
Tip your
I
Uber.
have so many. I've never done it, but I've heard so many stories of people like throwing up in Ubers,
Oh, dude.
Oh,
and I'm like,
oof.
God damn, that'd be such an awful job.
Yeah. Yeah. Your night's over. Like,
Picking up a bunch of
Yeah.
Scottsdale girls.
Yeah.
And
Drunk
they're like, let's go to Whiskey Rock.
They're like, I thought it was a lemon drop. I didn't know it was tequila.
Yes, bro.
All over your brand new Honda Civic.
Oh my
You gotta
gosh.
clean that shit
Yeah.
up. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, you gotta love it, bro.
I just painted you guys a picture. You're welcome.
Man.
And it's funny because we play in front of that crowd,
Yeah.
that kind of crowd all the time.
Oh yeah, down there in AJ for sure.
Well, no, we haven't played in
Scottsdale?
AJ.
Oh, shit,
Scottsdale, yeah.
that's a
Whiskey Row.
Whiskey Row.
golly.
Yes, Whiskey Row Scottsdale. Shout out.
Hey, all those old Scottsdale ladies for sure, bro.
Well, it's a funny experience sometimes.
Yeah.
Fake lips and fake tits.
Yeah.
Because you were asking if I was like having a good time. I'm like, I am having a good time with the cigar. I legitimately. I stuttered. I'm having a great time with this cigar, and I solely bought it for the purpose of the name.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it's actually really good.
Yeah, dude, you should just take some of those stickers and start slapping them on stuff.
I got guitar cases.
I got plenty of stickers.
I just ashed that.
Are you the first one to burn a hole in the carpet, dude?
Dude.
Dude.
Burn a hole?
Brandon, not the turf.
No, it's just good. I'm just watching it.
Dude, what do
see
you?
if it
So you?
smokes.
So let me ask you this real quick, and then I'll wrap it up with you guys and let you guys get out of here. What? You've been around here a long time, man. What do you think of what I'm doing back here?
I really like it.
Yeah.
I think I can tell you want to make things a little more active and fun.
Yeah, dude. It's
You
like
know,
sitting in my
and-
backyard.
Yeah. And I also
That's
like
cool.
the fact that you're still keeping the home vibe that Brad set
Yeah.
at one point, you know, and so that helps. We can come here and I don't know if they know what you're already doing for it, but with what you want to set up back here.
Oh
But,
no, I haven't really said a whole lot yet. Been keeping it kind of close.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Just edit that out.
But yeah, you guys are always welcome, dude. If you ever want to just like, obviously, you ever want to just come back here and you guys want to just sit back and smoke and write, like I could easily close this off for you guys too. Like that's always, yeah,
This
that's
would be ideal for rehearsal.
That would be cool. Yeah.
always an option.
Actually, that's
Always an
a
option.
fantastic idea to come here for a rehearsal.
It's not a problem, bro. It's open to you guys, whatever you need.
Hey, you know what? We've actually thought about doing some like live band
Yeah.
videos. Like we would do a live playthrough of some of the songs, and this would be a really cool spot to like shoot it and record it.
As long as we're not impeding on any
Yeah.
packaging and
Yeah.
Nah,
anything
bro.
like that.
Nah, we'll make it work.
Cool.
It's easy.
Awesome.
Dude.
Thanks, man.
Just ask Chuck to come back here and smoke, and you'll have your own fog machine.
Perfect.
Love it.
Dude, smoke
Let's go.
causes a lot of smoke.
Really?
Yeah. So, all right, yeah, dude, plug whatever you guys need to plug for everybody, whether it's the Instagram, where they can find the album. Tell them the album because I screwed it up at the beginning, and then yeah, just let the people know whatever you need to let them know so they can go hear your stuff. Bro.
Well, yeah, we did say it when you were out of the room before, but we'll say it again because there's no harm in a selfless plug.
Yep.
Dude, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram at Twisted Trails Music, and then TikTok Twisted Trails Band.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Cooper, for setting that up.
Yeah.
We needed to be active on TikTok. We had nothing on there.
Yeah,
And then
That's changing very soon.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can find all of our personal Instagrams on there too if you guys wanted to follow them. Trailhead EP by Twisted Trails on all streaming platforms. Anything I'm missing?
Don't know. I think that's it.
Just always be on the look. There's gonna be new stuff coming out. New, whether that's content or new
Songs.
music.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And if you're coming out to Arizona and you want to know a cool spot to go to, chances are they're probably there playing. And two, if you want to hear some good music while you're at a good spot, they're probably there playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So look them up when you're here in Arizona. There's chances one of the places that's worth you going and hanging out, these guys are probably out there playing one night, especially if it's an Old Town.
Actually, Old Town is really only one place.
Yeah?
Stillery. Stillery is a big one.
Yeah, you've been playing Distillery a lot, yeah.
Yeah, we're in there. They've shown us a lot of love. And
Yeah.
They've helped us out a
And they have,
bunch.
how many locations they have?
Three.
Yeah.
They have 3.
Here, they have one in Colorado and one in Nashville too.
So...
Or 2 in Nashville.
So when you doing the Nashville
yeah.
role, dude? When you going to do a couple shows in Nashville?
I think, does Nashville even do full band?
They probably
They do,
They
but
probably
it's-
don't there, dude. They're like, nah, bro,
Yeah.
we don't.
They do.
They do?
But it changed. I feel like it
Over
changes
there.
out. It's just a bunch of the Nashville people, like all the
locals.
Right.
you know. Oh, who do we have today? No idea. He's just gonna meet us here. All right,
Yeah.
you're the guitarist for today. Like,
Yeah.
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 That's that place.
That's just Nashville in general.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah.
Is the music scene here good?
Dude, it's growing so fast.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Yeah, let's talk about that for a second because I feel like Arizona the local scene does not get the love
It should. Yeah.
that it should. Or like you see a lot of people in Arizona, especially in like the country scene, and they'll kind of get some momentum going, and then they're like, "Well, I'm gonna hightail it, and I'm moving to Nashville." And I'm like, "You can create that scene here.
Oh,
You
you
can-
easily.
Seattle was not a music city before grunge, but it was a bunch of dudes who were working together, and they built a community, and then they put Seattle on the map in the music world." And I'm like, you could totally do that here. So like,
Can.
I'm like, I guess that is kind of the long-term goal with us all working together with a bunch of other super incredibly talented artists out here is like, let's all work together and let's build this Arizona community to be something.
And we kind of are already. Like we're.
Yeah, we're totally.
sounds that
Yeah,
way.
that's in the progress,
Yeah.
and we're working with. And Tristan's producing other artists. I'm playing on other artists' stuff, and I'm sure Brandon's gonna
We're
get into that writing with
Writing with
other
other
artists.
artists, yeah,
So it's really, and I think that's really cool
And
because
the music's really good. Like,
yeah, and it feels like it makes Twisted Trails feel bigger than just a band.
Yeah.
It does feel like, working in collaboration with a bunch of different people. It does feel bigger than us.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
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 Well, I'm from Ohio, dude. Kentucky, Tennessee, I've been there. But we're out west, bro.
Yeah.
This is where the cowboys are.
Yeah.
The like all the original Mexican guys that were the original cowboys, right?
Yeah.
Like all the original, I forget what they actually called them, but yeah, the cowboys.
Vaqueros.
Is that what it was? Vaqueros?
Vaqueros. That's cowboy.
Okay. And that's from out west. So like, sure you got some country singers from Oklahoma, you got some country singers obviously from Texas, which makes sense. But like, what? Yeah, Arizona, New Mexico, like, dude, we're out
You could
here.
totally
bro.
build something here, and there are some people who've made it work.
Colorado.
Like I gotta shout out Colton Dawson, dude.
Dude.
Yeah, man.
He is making it. He moved to Nashville and he's making it happen. And I'm like,
But he's
and I'm like,
representing.
Yeah.
well, they were calling the difference is they were calling him. Nashville Gate was giving him the work, and so that's why he went. But like a lot of people will just move because they're like,
Yeah.
so they're kicking down and asking for work, where Nashville's
Calling
hitting
saying,
him up
"We
and being
want
like,
you here."
"We need you here." And so, huge shout out to Colton.
That's
man.
the
Dude,
that's the only way to go to Nashville.
that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because now you're on their list, like you were saying. Like if you even wanted to,
You're
try
the
to
rock star,
go play
dude. You're
distillery there, then you're
right.
you're on. You got to get ahead of the guys that they've already got on the list for
Well,
those.
that's the funny part is, I don't know anyone that's played at the Nashville Distillery that has made a name like
Yeah.
Cruz Brothers
Mm-hmm.
or Colton Dawson. Like these guys, they all play. They played Distillery. Miles Cruz was just at my gig yesterday at the Distillery.
Oh yeah, I saw the pictures. Yeah,
No, he,
or not the
videos.
pictures. Did you push something up? Yeah, video.
oh, yeah,
That's
on
what it was.
Instagram, and they're killing it. But these guys are making such a name for the hometown Arizona people
Mm-hmm.
as genuine people.
Yeah.
Like they're not stuck up.
They are
rock stars,
awesome,
you
dude.
know?
They are
Yeah.
awesome dudes.
Yeah.
They
Really
got the same
incredible.
vision
people.
you do to build the community and build the
Yeah.
state up
They-
for being something different
Yeah.
in the music industry.
Yeah, like it's not just Dirks Bentley anymore. You know,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
we're
One of the biggest country music shows is out here every year. Country Thunder.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And
How
guess
is
what?
the music scene not bigger here, dude?
Pretty
Yeah.
much all
Yeah.
of those main stage acts are all people who aren't from Arizona.
Yeah.
Right.
So
And you've played Country Thunder.
I didn't do the main stage. Don't make it sound cooler than what I
Dude,
did.
that
I did the
place-
side stage, but it's still. That sounded. I'm super grateful for
Yeah.
that opportunity.
main stage
but-
and nothing.
Well, yeah, that is kind of my mentality
Yeah.
because I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
and we were up there and we were doing a bunch of covers, so I'm like, I played it and it was really cool and it was a really sick experience. But I'm like, my perspective, I've done big shows and I've done small shows, and I'm like, when we did Last Exit Live, that was our first like ticketed event, and it was a small room. It wasn't a big crowd, but
It felt amazing.
that was one of the best
It was
shows
so
I've
awesome.
ever put. And like
Yeah.
the fact that people were singing the EP back at us, and we had like 50 monthly listeners.
Yeah.
And so to hear those, like every one of those listeners there singing it back at you,
Yeah.
you're like, holy shit.
Dang.
That is
awesome.
That is a high.
Shout
That
out
is-
El Sloan for helping us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We opened for her. She's awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Al.
That's wild, man. That's like, okay, so like I can understand that. I forget which theater I went to, but Logic put a concert on here a couple years ago with Juicy J, and it was a very small venue. I don't think there was maybe 250 people in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it created an environment, and he played that set went on for probably 4 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. It was insane because there was a microphone issue and you couldn't hear.
Yeah.
And the crowd was getting, because it's so like tight,
Yeah.
it was really rowdy. Like people were getting pissed.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, they can't control that.
Right.
Like, and eventually like everybody kind of chilled out and took it easy. And then Logic was like, hey man, thank you guys for understanding, and played for 3 more hours.
It's awesome.
So those smaller intimate sets, man, they really make, like, you almost feel like you're on stage with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus like when I went to the NF concert at State Farm Arena, like that was like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
100,000
there is
people.
a
so removed,
disconnect.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
sure.
huge disconnect. Yeah.
You know, I'm standing in the bleachers somewhere, just getting into it, rapping all the songs, and some mom and her son are standing next to me, going, "What's this guy on?"
Yeah. Life.
Yes, literally.
Whereas when you do those smaller venues, it's like everybody's in the mosh pit.
See, it's funny because like obviously we want to play those. I want to play a huge crowd. I want to play like
That's
a
the
main
dream,
stage.
bro.
Yeah.
If we could hear an entire stadium sing back Sunsets and Cigarettes, it would be nuts.
we would be in tears.
Yes.
God, yeah.
I would cry.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's still something about being able to see everyone in that crowd
It's like
Yeah.
Queen at
and
Wembley
remembering
Stadium.
their faces.
Yeah.
Well, it's different doing doing a cover, like doing a big cover show and then doing a small original show.
Yeah.
Because when you do the big cover show, you didn't write those songs. It's more or less just playing a giant bar. It is kind of playing a giant bar gig.
Yeah.
But then when you're doing the small original stuff, and that's not to say I'm ungrateful for those gigs,
No, but you're
because
connecting.
yeah, it's a big, and
Yeah.
it's cool doing those big shows.
And
but,
we
like,
still play the originals throughout.
yeah, and when you do the originals, like they are there to hear something that you created. They care about you, and like it's such a different it is such a different experience and such a different high.
Yeah, it's great.
Dude, I'm proud of you guys, man. I know I just met these guys, but like I'm super happy for everybody, bro. Like,
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
dude, I know that like, fuck, man. I know Brad would love to hear this album.
Man, don't say it now.
He's listening, I'm sure.
Yo, he's
He's
listening.
listening.
He's listening for sure.
Bro, he's listening with better headphones, better music equipment, and
Yeah.
better freaking cigars than
Dude.
we're ever gonna imagine.
Yeah.
Until we transcend to wherever the heck he went, bro.
Actually, I was having a conversation with Billy Saturday.
Yeah. They know a lot of people know Billy Saturday.
I was having a conversation with him at the event, that one at the golf course, and dude, I finally was like talking about a lot of things with him.
Yeah.
Like he and I were shedding tears together inside, and but no, I told him, I was like, the first question I had was when that thing came out, literally at our EP release party, I walked out and I cried. I had this weird panic deal going on, and I cried, and I said the words out loud. I just wish Brad could hear it. And then also my friend Alec and everything, like, but right when I said that, I immediately, it switched on its own. My thought process was, they're hearing it.
They're listening.
Oh yeah.
So,
Well, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to have you guys on here right now, because, dude, he would have been, as soon as he heard your album, he would have been like, dude, I want you on the podcast.
Yeah.
We got to talk about your album. We got to talk about how you guys made this. We got to talk about the stuff you're doing.
Yeah.
I love the songs. And he would have just gotten super excited about it. So,
on next on the Zeal Cigar Review.
yeah, bro. So, so it was only right for me to also have you guys on, you know, mostly for, you know, I loved the album and I think more people should hear about it. And I have a little bit of leverage to do that with, so I'm going to use it to help produce.
I did want to say,
support you guys.
thank you so much for this
Yeah,
Yeah,
opportunity.
thank you, man.
Yeah.
And it's been cool to kind of sit, because we, like, whenever we're singing in a room, it's so forward, and it's just,
Focusing,
it's,
like,
you're
yeah,
just
like-
foot's slammed on
Yeah.
the fucking gas pedal.
Yep.
And, you know, it's, so to kind of sit back and reflect on, like,
What we did.
on what we made,
Yeah.
is like,
Cool.
it's really cool to take that second
Yeah.
to,
And this is the first time we have.
And you,
to catch our breath for
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, it's like,
a few minutes.
yeah.
you should be proud of it too, man.
Yeah.
No, like, so I've, you know, as somebody who, I go down rabbit holes and I study things extensively when I get almost OCD about it.
Yeah.
Like, I did a whole week where I didn't go to college, any of my college classes, for like a week and a half, because all I was doing was reading and studying the Freemasons.
Yeah. A lot
That's it.
lot to read and study on that, yeah.
Right? So like I don't understand music on a written scale. I don't understand the tones. I don't understand how you're producing it and how you get the sounds that you get them. But I know I can appreciate when it's good, and when it's not, you know it's not.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't listen to it if it wasn't good. And it's been on my stuff at home personally on repeat, bro, for since I found out you guys had the album.
Yeah.
Thank you,
awesome.
man.
Thanks,
So I
man.
think you guys should be
Awesome.
extremely proud of it. And the biggest thing for me is like, dude, I want to see what else you guys put out, bro.
Yeah.
And I want to hear a mix where that because you do sound a little. They don't know this, and the album doesn't really portray this per se, which is good because I like that it doesn't, because it gives you something in your packet.
Oh boy.
But you did it a little bit on here. You definitely your voice can get gritty like Johnny Cash's in a very similar way. So like,
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear a couple songs that just really strip down on that.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff, I don't know if I want to talk about what the name
Don't.
of the album's going to be.
No. Keep it in your pocket, bro.
But I'll just say we're going to be getting into a lot of deep topics for this
Okay.
album. I mean,
Yeah.
Just-
pulling it out, putting it
we're-
on the table.
we're talking about, broken families. We're talking about suicide, really hard stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm sure we're going to be putting a couple different, just fun songs
Oh,
on
yeah.
there just to wrap it up,
Yeah.
man.
But that's the music people People don't even know they want and they need.
They need
right?
they need honesty about things that people aren't talking about.
I don't want to hear about going to the bar and picking up an old lady that had a husband that
Yep.
you had to run out the back door and drive away from, and then you left your shoes, so you had to go back and get them on your horse.
Just write a whole damn song.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to.
So you don't like distance?
Oh man.
I actually like that song.
Bar
That's a great
downtown.
song.
But like, yeah, man. I want to hear. Like, that's what draws so many people, especially like me, to hip hop and rap. It's not so much as what it is like when artists are really good at telling a story. Like when NF tells you a story about his life, you feel every bit of the pain that man felt.
Yeah.
Like when you talked about Johnny Cash's God's Gonna Cut You Down.
You feel
You
Oh,
you
yeah.
almost feel like Johnny in that moment is feeling the weight of all of his sins and asking himself, like, is God gonna cut me down?
I think he was. I think it was less of a question. I think it was a statement. He was like, "God's gonna cut me down."
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, like,
And he definitely knew there's consequences to the shit he did. You know?
And he did a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
but you
I
felt.
mean, I can't speak for Johnny Cash. I'm not
Right.
Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
But that was my
you know.
interpretation of it.
But that bell, man, I gotta probably get back to work here and let
All
you
right.
guys
No
get
worries.
back going.
Yeah, man.
Get you guys back to doing whatever it is you guys got to do. And bro, I thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me for a little bit.
Thank you for having
man.
me.
bro. I'm
Thank
excited.
you. This
man.
was
I can't
really,
wait.
Been
this was
awesome.
really, really cool.
Dude, we'll
Yeah.
do it again. Like I said, and you guys, anytime you guys want to come and hang out, and
Do it.
it's more than welcome.
I'm glad
More than
this is
welcome.
the first video that we've been on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm
fitting.
glad this is the one.
It's
Yeah.
fitting, bro.
Right.
It's a bow tie.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a bow tie on top. With that, guys, it's been JB hanging out with Twisted Trails, and you guys take it easy.
Cheers.
Later.
Yeah.
In